Shalom. I want to start off by saying Barakathe Hawa, Barakathe Haushai, Barakathe Hawa, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and enough respect to the brothers that are out there pushing and spreading the gospel of the kingdom to the four corners of the world. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. I was 2 weeks ago. We got the topic of famine, and eventually we went to cannibalism, and we talked about it just a brief moment in camp. And the spirit is on me to I did some research, went into Google search engine and typed in hunger, cannibalism, and in quotation, and Google, and it gave me a lot of information and a lot of good, really good and great information. And this article that I'm scrolling through right now, it's named, it's called the Famine's Darkest Secret. Okay, so I'm just gonna get into it. I'm not trying to make the video too long, and then hope edification goes out. The purpose of this video is not to the brothers and sisters that are listening in truth and sincerity. It's not for you to be so afraid that you forget about hope. If you forget about your hope and your Yahweh Shemiel Shai, that all you focus on is the wicked, is the evil that's coming. Okay, I want you to keep in mind that Yahweh Shemiel Shai is there. Okay, he is not going anywhere. Okay, he's for us and we are safe. Okay, this is Psalms chapter 34, starting from verse 6. Verse 7, it says, "The angel of the Lord encampeth around about them that fear him, and delivereth them. O taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. O fear the Lord, ye his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him." Romans chapter 11, starting from verse 22, it says, "Behold therefore the goodness and severity of God on them which fell severely." Okay, on those that died, the Most High dealt with them severely. But towards thee, to the brothers and sisters that are listening in truth and sincerity, that hold this gospel precious, okay, that are striving for salvation, striving for righteousness, but towards thee, towards you, goodness, if thou continue in his goodness. Otherwise thou shalt also be cut off. Thou shalt fall. Thou shalt die. Yeah. This is Lamentations chapter 3, starting from verse 22, 25. It says, "The Lord is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai." All right, so let's get into it. So famine's darkest secret. All right. As I was reading, it says, "Cannibalism is famine's darkest secret, a taboo topic. How common was it in the past? I am not referring here to what scientist and historian Jared Diamond has dubbed a customary cannibalism, i.e. the ceremonial or ritual consumption of human flesh in non-emergency situations." So straight then, this article, he made it known that this isn't about who. It's not about the stories we've heard of civilizations killing and eating people because it's culture or because of religion or whatever it is. That's not the kind of cannibalism that he's talking about. Okay, as distinct from cases of cannibalism and during life-threatening food shortages. So he's talking about cannibalism as a result of hunger, what a man does when he's desperately hungry, when he's trying to survive, when he needs substance. Okay, our focus is on famine, cannibalism. Of all the horrors of famine, this may be the most unsettling, writing against the background of Russian famine of 1921-22. Okay, let's jump. Let's see. It's like um okay. It says, but in the Western world, more broadly defined, the era of famine, and famine is defined here as a shortage of food or purchasing power that leads directly to excess mortality from starvation or hunger-induced disease. Okay, um, so I'm just jumping around because I don't want the video to be too long. Uh, and the link is in the description if you're interested in reading it. It's very informative. Um, okay, it says 2 generations on, the Moldovan famine remains highly um, con- contentious and emotive issue in Moldova itself. Why? Because when I went into it, a lot of these government bodies, they don't want to associate themselves with famine. Okay, everybody want to play off as if they are ruling their land right, and then they are prestigious, and that the country is in no sort of want whatsoever. The country is good. They don't want any kind of embarrassment. Okay, that's why it's highly contentious and an emotive issue because all the time somebody want to find a way to explain it, to justify it, to not make it seem severe. But be assured that the judgment that the Most High is bringing, nobody's going to be having this conversation. Everybody will be sure of it. Okay. All right. So, um, jump down. It says one aspect of the Moldovan famine that make its memory more fraught is the gruesome suggestion that the eating of corpses took place on a larger scale. Authorities were aware of the practice. They even showed Alexei Kosygin, then a candidate Politburo member, and sent from Moscow to investigate a corpse that had been prepared for eating and sought to stamp it out. There were stories of murder cannibalism, including one of a peasant woman from the village of Tambula who had killed 2 of her 4 children, a girl of 6 who had killed 2 of her 4 children, a girl of 6 and a boy of 5, with a view of eating them, and another peasant from the village of Kachba who had killed his 12-year-old grandson who had come to visit and ate him. Cannibalism is famine's darkest secret, a taboo topic. How common was it in the past? I am not referring here to what scientist and historian Jared Diamond has dubbed customary cannibalism. Did I go through this? But basically, let me see. I feel like I went through it. Uh, all right, just to be sure. It says, I am not referring here to what scientist and historian Jared Diamond has dubbed customary cannibalism, the ceremonial or ritual consumption of human flesh in non-emergency situations, as distinct from cases of cannibalism during life-threatening food shortages. Our focus is on famine cannibalism. Of all the horrors of famine, this may be the most unsettling. Okay. Then bear with me for a minute. There was a part that made all right, let me go. Just bear with me for a minute. I'm trying to get the point out. You know. So just forgive me and please give me more time. Okay. Okay, there it is. Um, Writing against the background of Russian famine of 1921 to 22, which cost millions of lives, and during which he claimed cannibalism was an ordinary occurrence. Sociologist Petrin Sorokin pointed out that the practice entailed the suppression not only of religious morals, legal, and aesthetic reflexes, but also those related to group preservation. Okay, so this is what famine does. It says it suppresses religion. Okay, whatever your beliefs are, whatever spirituality that you're connected to, it suppresses that shit. Okay, it turns off your morality. Okay, you don't give a damn about whether that's legal or not. If I'm killing a person, I'm breaking the law. That shit is out your mind, man. That's not what you're trying to. That ain't what you're trying to think about right now. Okay, and aesthetic reflexes. Well, all you want is to kill a person, and all you want is food and meat. When you see a person, you see meat. I was watching this video of this survivalist, who was he was a survivalist, and it's on YouTube, and he breaks down movies. Okay, and whenever when he was breaking down movie scenes on how real and how unreal they were, he he got to the topic of cannibalism, and he was talking about how when a person doesn't just become a cannibal. They don't just go ahead and say, "Yo, I'm hungry. I'm eating human meat." Okay, it starts with a dead body. Okay, whoever dies first, and then you look at his body and you start making that decision. Okay, because you're gradually building you're forging your mentality. Okay, so you can actually perform what you're doing, and only hunger can push you to that peak point. Okay, so the beginning of your measure of extent is when you see a dead body. He says that when you take a rabbit, for example, a rabbit is cute and cuddly. Okay, it's very cute, cuddly. Take a chicken, for example, very cute and cuddly. But once you cook it, once you kill it, okay, you take all the hair out, and you boil, and you whatever, you roast it, whatever you do to a meat. Okay, it's no longer a rabbit that's cute and cuddly. It's only meat that you're getting ready to eat. Okay, that's what that is what the human. That is what a person's mind becomes. Okay, so when you see a dead body with a person that you would, before a person crossed that line of cannibalism, what they do is that they will make they will do everything in their power to not humanize with that person, because it's a very difficult thing to do. So what they will do is that most of the cases that come through, they start with the thigh, the leg, the arm, the back fat, okay, and when they cut it, and they will move a few yards away, they'll move like a couple feet away, and then they will cook the meat far from the body, so that the part where they chop is in their hands, and all they see is meat. Okay, so when he see the meat, he'll eat it, and so now he has begun a journey of eating human meat. Okay, so he does it today, and then he goes out the next day. He finds no food. He will come back to that body and do it again. Now, what happens when the leg is gone, the arm is gone, the back is gone? He can turn the body over, and he can look the human in the eye and eat him. Okay, so now there's no more dead body. You got to find live bodies. Now that's what they do now. So when you get so hungry, now you don't got to wait for somebody to die. You look for fresh meat, and so that is, you see the way, I don't know how to put it, the measure of extent that a person gives themselves when they're very hungry. And like it says right here, it suppresses not only your religious thoughts, but your morality too. Okay, so you're damn near an animal, like a fucking animal. Okay, and you just wanna, you're trying to survive, man, because hunger is very very serious. Lamentations. Um, let me see. Right, Lamentation chapter 4, verse 9 says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away, stricken through want of fruit of the field. Okay, because hunger is very, very brutal. All right, hunger is very, very brutal. It is not swift, it is not in a matter of minutes where it's over, where you leave your body. It is time. Okay, when you so hungry, so thirsty, where your tongue cleave to the roof of your mouth, when you so hungry that your mouth is so dry that it's cracking. All right, when you so hungry, people don't know what hunger is, man. Especially Babylon. Man. Babylon have no idea what real hunger is. Okay, a person will complain all day if when they miss lunch. Complain, man. Just complain and yo, I'm hungry. Yo, don't even talk to me right now. Yo, don't even try to fuck with me, bro. I'm too hungry for this shit, man. A few hours of not for food. Now, what happens when you're put in this situation? You don't think they'll take these measures? A lot of people have no idea. They keep playing with the Most High, man. They, people keep playing with the Most High, and they think that all is good. You know, all is good. Here it is, a virus that shut down the whole world. We are in economic crisis. Um, the storehouses are getting empty. Okay, before we would eat, we would eat off the harvest. We would eat off the harvest of we would eat what was harvested, okay, a few years before. But now what we're doing is we're only eating the harvest of last year, okay. And this also doesn't daunt on people. People still don't see that the Most High, it's vexing this place and it's preparing this place for great judgment. People still don't see it, okay. And people still out here thinking that all is good. They can't wait till this lockdown is over so they can continue their wickedness. All right. Jeremiah chapter 35, verse 15, it says, I have sent also unto you all my servants and prophets, and they rise up early, sending them, saying, return ye now every man from his evil ways, and amend your doing. Go not after other gods to serve them, and ye shall dwell in the land which I have given you and to your fathers. But ye have not inclined your ears, nor hearkened unto me. So Jeremiah, matter of fact, we're going to get into Ezekiel, okay? Thou son of man, take a towel. So now this is going, okay, get into this, pretty self-explanatory. And so what the Mosai is making Ezekiel do is that he's actually acting out prophecies in front of the people, but they still won't hear it. Okay, he acted out the siege. All right, take a towel and lay before it, and portray upon it the city, even Jerusalem, and lay a siege against it, and build a fort against it. Make all these things, and make an image out of it, make the prophecies, and explain to them in vivid details what's gonna happen to them. But people still didn't people still didn't listen. Okay. Um, Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 9, it says, take thou unto thee wheat and barley and beans and lentils and millet and fetch it, and put them in one vessel, and make thee bread thereof, according to the number of days that thou shalt lie upon thy side. 390 days shalt thou eat thereof, and thy meat which thou eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day. From time to time thou shalt eat it. Thou shalt drink also water by measure, the sixth part of a hin. From time to time shalt thou drink. Okay, he's acting out. Now Ezekiel is actually being afflicted right now, but it's to show Israel that this is the situation that they will be going through. Okay, and thou shalt eat, and thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of a man in their sight. Okay, so the Most High was going to set Ezekiel to the point where he has to mix human feces with bread in order to make the food enough so his body can digest it, so so he don't so he they don't die of hunger. Okay, this is vivid details and what the children of Israel were going to be doing if they didn't repent. And the Lord, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I would drive them. Then said I, Lord God, behold, my soul has not been polluted, for from my mouth even up till now have I not eaten of that which dieth of itself, or torn in pieces, because yeah, all these were against the law, neither come their abominable flesh in my mouth. So Ezra was saying, with a man's feces, Lord, try, please, like, I haven't been defiled by anything, ever since I was living. I've been following the commandment. I haven't been defiled by anything. Okay, at least human feces it's really really dirty. It's really gonna defile me. Okay. Then said he, the Most High, then said he unto me, Lo, I have given thee cow's dung for a man's dung, and thou shalt prepare thy bread therewith. For the Lord was like, all right, you don't gotta no, you're not using man's dung. You're gonna use a cow's dung. Okay. It's still dung, but a cow's dung it's grass dung. It's much better than a man's pork dung. Man, that's terrible. But moreover said he unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. I will break I will break the staff of bread, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care. You have to have an intense level. You have a great level of focus. Today we eat. Today we eat this much bread. We eat this much bread. You don't eat more. Don't take tomorrow's ration for this day. No, we're not doing that. Okay? They shall eat bread with care, and they shall drink water by measure. Okay? You thirsty yourself, but nah, man. You're supposed to have a sixth of a cup today. You ain't supposed to drink. You're not getting no more water. Okay? They shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. And you want to sit there and be like, God, I'm hungry, man. How can a person be so hungry? You be looking anywhere there is no food, and you'll be astonished. Okay? And how much pain you're going through, how much suffering you're going through, that they may want bread and water, and be astonished one with another, and consume away for the iniquity. Okay? Because of your iniquity, I have sent all my servants and the prophets, rising up early, sending them, saying, Return ye now every man from his evil ways, and amend your doing. Okay? But ye have not inclined your ear, nor hearken unto me. Okay? This is Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 5. Matter of fact. Right. So just like Ezekiel and Jeremiah prophesy, the siege came in, the Babylonian siege came in, and like you said, they're running out of food, out of rations. Okay, and what happened? What happened after that? Um, Lamentation chapter 4, verse 9 says, They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away, stricken through for want of fruit of the field. Okay, now the reason they're going through this because they were wicked, obviously. So, like again, strive to be a righteous person, strive for righteousness, okay, to be perfect. All right. Strive, because you can't. You're already a wicked person. You already sinned. So you can't be an all righteous person, but strive for righteousness. Okay. And the Most High sees it, and the Most High will give you a good report, and it will be a good report unto the Most High, and the Most High shall save you. Okay. It says, The hand of the pitiful woman. All right. Let me bring it back. Right. It says, how is gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stone of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold. How are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hand of potter. Even the sea monsters draw out the breast. Even the sea monsters, they give suckling to their breast. Okay, they give suck to their young one. The mothers of the daughters of my people is become cruel with the os as like the ostriches in the wilderness. The tongue of the suckling child cleaveth to the roof of his tongue for thirst. The young children ask it why, because the mother needs to eat. You need to eat in order to produce milk. So in a time of famine, you can't give milk. Okay, and now and it says right here that the child is so thirsty that his tongue is stuck to the roof of it. It's so dry that it's sticking. It's sticking to the roof of his mouth. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh unto them. Why? Because what the young man shall uh, the Most High shall break the staff of bread, okay, and shall make them eat with care. All right, I can't find it. Anyway, but they shall eat with care. Okay, so no man breaketh it unto them. They that did feed delicately are desolate in the street. They that were brought up in a scarlet's embrace, dunghills. Okay, so like I said, hey Babylon, man, they that were fed delicately, okay, are desolate in the streets. Okay, they that were brought up in scarlet's embrace, you guys are coddled, man. I'm telling you, you guys are really coddled. A lot of people are just a lick of what you call it, you know. Um, you get a tiny bit of why am I forgetting this word? A tiny bit of scourge, and you're bugged out. Like you're hungry and you bugged out. You can't afford something, and you start doing crazy things to get money to earn something. Okay, you're spoiled. Okay, you don't know how to suffer a tiny bit of suffering in your life, and you just break down. You start wilding out. Okay, brought up in a scarlet embrace, dunghills. Okay, so when this famine hits, when this evil times come, it's gonna be a significant change, man. You will not. There is no time for you to at least adjust the beginning of it. Okay, so they were gone. They are desolate in the streets. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom that was overthrown as in a moment, and no hand stayed on her. Okay, Lamentations 4 and 10. The hand of the pitiful woman have sought in their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. The Lord has accomplished his fury. He has poured out his fierce anger and has kindled a fire of Zion and has devoured the foundation thereof. Right. So this time it's Jerusalem, but that time it was Jerusalem. Now it's going to be the whole earth. Okay. Ezra's second Ezra's, I believe that the fifth, the sixth chapter, fourth chapter. Okay, where the Most High talks about uprooting the evil seed. Okay, and the way that the Most High is going to uproot the evil seed is going to be by way of destruction, man. Sword, pestilence. Okay, the famine. All right, and the Most High is going to do it with pleasure, man, because what he's been angry all this while. Well, Ecclesiastes says what because judgment is not it's not sent out speedily. It is set in the heart of men to put iniquity for the iniquity. Roughly paraphrasing, people do evil, 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 and they think nothing is going on, but all they're doing is making the Lord mad, mad, mad. Okay, so what happens when the Most High wants to accomplish His fury? Okay, the Scripture tells you that don't have no fault with you. Don't be found at fault when you come to a man that has the ability to kill. Now, I was talking about a man, maybe it was talking about uh, um, a robber, or you're trying to gang bangers or something like that. But it can also be applied to the Most High, because He does have the power to kill. And if you had and you are found a fault in front of Him, He will kill you with pleasure. Okay. Um. All right. So back to it. Um. And it is certain that if private initiative had not reached the extent it did with the popular soup kitchens and the fight for survival, the problem of hunger would have taken such dimensions of primitiveness and barbarity, because that's what hunger does to you. It brings you to a primitive state, and it makes you a barbarian. It makes you barbaric. Okay, that even cannibalism would end up being a common phenomenon. The horrific picture of the corpse of a girl whose left thigh was missing made an impression on E.E., who writes, "It was cut so smoothly that someone must have cut it with a knife, and the thought made me feel sick. That is what made the biggest impression on me during the occupation of famine." So these famine historians, they have found some horrific shit, man. They have seen some crazy ass shit. Okay. And then it brings an example from the scriptures and Kings. It says, "And as the king of Israel was passing by on the wall, a woman cried to him, saying, 'Help me, O Lord, O king.' And he said, 'If the Lord does,'" matter of fact, we're just going to get it. But before we get into it, it says right here, "The reluctance of mothers to kill their own children in such circumstances is a theme repeated in later account." Um, Stories of mothers eating their own children during the apocalyptic Ethiopian famine of 1891 to a case is 1889 to 91 to a case of war torn in Scotland when there's let me see. Mm, mm. The starving sufferers were compelled to feed on substances most abhorred to human appetite, and one wretch called Christian Clegg with his wife subsisted on the flesh of children whom they had caught in traps and devoured. These these wretched cannibals were detected, condemned, and burned to death. Hey, and like it says, man, it says famine was the ultimate test, man, of resilience. So, yeah, we'll just get into that. Just bear with me for a minute. Just, It says, and it came to pass after this that Benadad, king of Syria, gathered all his host and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria. And behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for fourscore pieces of silver. Okay, 80 pieces of silver. And a fourth part, okay, of a cab of dove's dung, the fourth part, okay, was sold for 5 pieces of silver. And this measure of currency, well, it's expensive. It's a lot, okay, it's a lot for an ass's head and for a dove's poop, okay. And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help, my Lord. Hey, and the prophecies did come to pass, man. People were actually eating dung, man. People were eating their own dung. The little, if you, so when they were eating bread with care, okay, and when they were astonished, you're so astonished that I cannot believe I have to mix poop in this bread to make the bread enough for me to eat, man. And hey, the judgment was crazy, you know. And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help, my Lord, O king. And he said, if the Lord does not help thee, when shall I help thee? Okay, again, keep in mind, it is the Lord that saves a man from these evil times. Out of the barn floor, or out of the winepress. And the king said unto her, what aileth thee? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son, and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, give thy son, that we may eat him. And she had hid her son. And it came to pass, when the king heard the words of the woman, that he rent his clothes, and passed by upon the walls, and the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth within upon his flesh. Okay, you know, the, the Most High, the Most High is coming to do some damage, man. The Most High is bringing some serious damage upon this place, upon Babylon especially. You know, because we, I, look, no matter how like we can't even say we can't even accurately tell you how bad it is because we have gone so long without judgment that it's piling up. Like, man, like how are we gonna pay for how do people think they're gonna pay for this wickedness? How do they think that they still gonna keep on doing this? The Most High exists. He knows. He sees. Okay, we just read through an amazing account. Okay, of a man. Now, how much better is the account of the angels? Okay, so when the Most High brings these judgment, it's coming upon each person, and you're gonna feel it, and you're gonna make up for all the wickedness that you've come through. So why won't you strive for righteousness? Why won't you seek Yahweh Shem Shai? Okay, why do you still have in your mind that you want to? Why do you still have wicked intent in your mind, folliness in your mind? You know, it, huh, man, may the Most High have mercy upon us, man. That's what we pray for. That's what we look forward to. Okay, that the Most High have mercy on us. Okay, that should be your number one worry. Okay, the fear of the Most High and your salvation. And you pray to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Pray to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, not nobody else. Only Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, because He's the one that's saving it. He's the one that's bringing it, and He's the one that could take it away from you. All right. To the brothers and sisters that are watching, the Most High got us, man. We just got to continue in this faith. We don't got to do anything extra, nothing. Okay, and that's the great and beautiful mercy of the Most High, man. We don't have to buy it because the Lord knows we don't have enough money. We don't even have enough money to pay men. Now, how are we going to pay the Most High? How are we going to pay for our iniquities? Okay, so The wadi Yahweh Shai, and we must always be grateful for this gift. All right. So may the blessing of election be upon your house. Yahweh Bashim Shai Barakatha. And I really hope edification went out, and I really hope that everybody, you have a new perspective on famine, and how serious it is. And keep in mind that this this place has to come down, and that we are striving for the kingdom, but there are certain things that we got to go through to get to the kingdom, and that it's a battle. Okay, it's a battle, and we need to build our faith. But the Most High got us. Okay, again, may the blessing of election be upon your house. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Barakatha. Okay, so on to the next one. Shalom.